जी नमस्कार। आई वुड प्रेफर माई लैंग्वेज हम मैथिली में चाहे भोजपुरी में थारू में ये लैंग्वेज प्रेफर करी से बट या एवरीबडी प्लीज फील फ्री टू स्पीक इन एनी लैंग्वेज यू फील कंफर्टेबल। सो नमस्कार, हम धीरज चौधरी, हम एंटा के जनरल सेक्रेटरी। आज के वेबिनार स्पेशली हमने के हेल्थ रिलेटेड वेबिनार से जैसे अपने सबके पता है कि कोविड-19 के न्यू वेरिएंट ओमिक्रॉन that is getting a little bit worse in this current scenario। अभी की स्थिति में तो इस स्थिति में हमने के कौन तरीका से ओमिक्रॉन के डील करे के से एक स्पेशलिस्ट हमने लंग आज के डॉक्टर यादव जी चितन। डॉक्टर यादव जी के हमने के इंट्रोडक्शन डॉक्टर मृदुला गुप्ता हु इज आवर Central Executive Committee Board of Advisor member, and she is working in Ohio environment. She is working as environmental specialist at Ohio Department of Health. So I would, I'm not going to take much time, but I would just move forward to Dr. Mridula Gupta to introduce Dr. Yadav and then continue the program, please.
Dheeraj, thank you so much. Namaste everyone and good morning. So जैसे धीरज जी कहल थी अभी मैथिली में बोल रही थी, लेकिन hopefully our talk will be in Nepali for everybody to understand. So हम वहाँ में बहुत दिन से थी. I did my PhD here in public health and I work as for Department of Health as an environmental specialist. Dr. Suresh Yadav, sorry if I say Suresh Dai sometime in between, that's because हमारा आदत हो गई Dai के बोले के कारण. But Dr. Suresh Yadav is from Nepal, from Janakpur. He did his MBBS at TU IOM Institute of Medicine in 1999. He did his residency in the US and has been working for past 16 years as internal medicinist. And in Ohio, he is working for the Ohio hospital system. He lives in Columbus, Ohio, actually Dublin, in my town, with his two beautiful kids and wife. Suresh, do you want to add something?
Just to correct, actually, I'm from South Tari. I grew up in Kathmandu.
As we does. I don't know why.
Yeah. Grew up in Kathmandu. My parents still live in Kathmandu. I moved here in 2001, and before doing residency, I worked in lab, like in New York. Like I used to do bench research. Then I was trained in Detroit, like area, like in Michigan for 3 years, and I've been in Columbus, Ohio. I worked for all the big hospitals there, like Ohio State, Mount Carmel, and Ohio Health. Currently, I work part-time with Ohio Health, and I work for myself, like, so, and currently I do sometimes travel jobs. So currently I'm in Troy, Ohio, like doing some travel jobs. Like I think today is my last day. And I deal with a lot of Omicron patients, a lot of COVID patients, especially the ones who get very sick, get admitted. So I think I can put some lights, like what we can do to not to get there.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. So thank you for carving out an hour for us today. So not taking much time. So just to give us some insight about how this Omicron is different from the previous strains in terms of symptoms, in terms of infectivity, how people are getting it.
COVID has become popular. It is more easy to communicate from one person to another. It's a communicable disease. It's like cold. It's very similar to rugakoki, like रुगाखोकीलाई यस्तै हुन्छ यो कोभिड। अनि यो ओमिक्रॉनको मेन एडभान्टेज के छ भने यो चाहिँ इट्स मोर कम्युनिकेबल देन इभन डेल्टा वाज मोर भिरुलेन्ट। जस्तो डेटा हेर्दाखेरि डेल्टाले बढी मान्छेलाई भनौँ न मारेको छ, तर ओमिक्रॉनको के छ भने यसले धेरैलाई सिकिस बनाउँछ, धेरैलाई रोगी बनाउँछ, तर धेरै मर्दैन। एक्चुअली मोर्टालिटी हेर्दाखेरि यसको 0.5% भन्छ। यसले भनेको 200 जनामा 1 जना मर्छ भन्ने छ। भनेको 99.9% मान्छेलाई ठीक हुन्छ यो। So biggest thing is it's a very communicable and communicable disease को some of the ठुलो कुरा के हो भने यो भ्याक्सिन वी अल नो द भ्याक्सिन स्पेशली द बुस्टर वालाको सबभन्दा बढी प्रोटेक्टिभ छ, प्रोटेक्सन दिन्छ हाम्रो बडीलाई। सेकेन्ड चाहिँ मास्क हो। अनि अरू कुनै पनि सर्ने रोगहरूको सबभन्दा ठुलो कुरा के हो भने सरसफाइहरू भनेको, सरसफाइ भनेको हात धुने कुरा भयो। घरमा जस्तो कोही बिरामी छ भने भनेको उसको सेपरेट कुराहरू हुनुपर्छ कि त्यो कुनै पनि कुरा सेयर नगर्ने। Sick, and even if you get sick, you will not be able to communicate to other people.
Okay. अनि तपाईको in terms of symptoms मान्छेको सेम सिम्पटम्स नै भइरहेछ कि मैले सुने अनुसार लाइक सोर थ्रोट अलिक बढी कमन छ ओमिक्रोनमा भन्छन् क्या रे हैन?
ओमिक्रोनको अब हामीले हेर्दाखेरि के छ भने धेरै जसोलाई त ज्वरो पनि आउँदैन ल, ज्वरो ड्राई कफ जस्तो हुन्छ। कति हाम्रो बिरामी आउँछ खाली त्यो एकदमै कमजोर भयो भन्छ कि फटिग भन्ने सिम्पटम छ, फटिग भन्छ। अनि त्यसपछि कोहीलाई ज्वरो आउँछ, धेरैलाई त ज्वरो पनि आउँदैन यसमा। फटिग भन्ने सबभन्दा कुरा कोहीलाई फेरि पेटको सिम्पटम लिएर आउँछ, जस्तो झाडा बान्ता जस्तो किसुनी आउँछ। युजुअली त्यो दिज आर पेटको सिम्पटम हुनेहरूको जस्तो सबभन्दा हेर्नुपर्ने कुरा के हुन्छ भने त्यो डिहाइड्रेसन हुने चान्स हुन्छ कि यदि केही कुरा खानै सकेन भने डिहाइड्रेट भएर हामीले एडमिट गरेर हुन्छ कति बिरामीलाई पेटको सिम्पटम। तर त्यो चाहिँ रिलेटिभली लेस डेन्जरस सिम्पटम हो क्या। जस्तो किनभने त्यो फोक्सोमा लाग्यो भने मात्रै हो मान्छे धेरै सिकित भएर अस्पतालमा भर्ना भएर मर्ने सम्भावना हुन्छ कि। यदि अरू भागमा छ भने you'll be fine. So coming back to symptoms, common symptomsहरुमा ड्राई कफ हामीले भन्छ, कोहीले ज्वरो, पेटको सिम्पटम्सहरुमा युजुअली झाडा बान्ताको कुराहरु आउँछ। अनि स्मेल पनि त्यो लस भने मैले एउटा पनि ओमिक्रोनको केसमा एउटा पनि भेटाएको छैन। जब त्यो डेल्टा वालामा त्योभन्दा पहिला एकदमै धेरै हुन्थ्यो के, एउटा पनि देखेको छैन। अनि त्यस्तै त्यो कोहीले हार्ट कुराहरु सुनिने एउटा पनि देखेको छैन ओमिक्रोनको केसमा।
अनि त्यो जस्तो अब सिम्पटम्सहरु हैन, अहिले त तपाईको फ्लूको पनि सिजन छ नि, अनि मान्छेले टेस्ट कतिखेर गर्नुपर्छ? जस्तो मलाई नि अलिकति रोग लाग्यो भने आई मे नट गो फर टेस्टिङ, यु नो, यो त रोग नै हो भन्ने जस्तो पनि हुन्छ। शुड पिपल गेट टेस्टेड एन्ड व्हेन डु त्यो कतिखेर हामीले सिरियसली टेस्ट गर्नु नै पर्ने हो?
सो त्यति मात्रै हैन, जस्तो रुगाको र ओमिक्रोनको सिम्पटम्स ओभरल्याप हुन्छ कि, किनभने दे आर भेरी सिमिलर। नाकबाट त्यो सिकान आउने हैन, अलिअलि खोकी लाग्ने, त्यसपछि कोहीलाई काम ज्वरोहरू आउने जस्तो। अनि मेन चाहिँ डरलाग्दो सिम्पटम्सहरू भनेको चाहिँ श्वासमा बढ्यो भने मात्रै हो। श्वासमा बढ्यो भने अथवा झाडाबान्ता धेरै लाएर खानेकुरा जस्तो भनौँ न झोल कुराहरू खानै नसक्ने हो, त्यो दुईटा कन्डिसनमा चाहिँ देखाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ। अनि अर्को स्पेसल जस्तो यसमा यो कोभिडले धेरै सिक बनाउने बिरामीहरू अन्डरलाइन मेडिकल प्रब्लम भनेको एउटा कमन हामीले देखेको बिएमआई भन्छ कि, भनेको मान्छे जो मोटो छ, जसलाई डायबिटिज छ, प्री डायबिटिज छ, जस्तो मैले त कतिवटा त्यो 19-20 वर्षको मान्छे पनि देखेको छु कि, त्यो एउटा कमन डिनोमिनेटर चाहिँ तिनीहरू सबै अनहेल्दी हुन्छ कि, भनेको मोटोपना सबभन्दा ठुलो रिस्क फ्याक्टर हो। डायबिटिज पनि हुनु हुँदैन, प्री डायबिटिज छ भने पनि मैले एकदमै सिक्दैछु छु त्यो कति काले गोरे सबै बिरामीहरू के, त्यो भेन्टिलेटरमै राख्नुपर्ने पनि। अनि त्यसको पनि त्यो फेरि एनालाइसिस त्यो साइन्टिफिक ब्याकग्राउन्ड के छ भने त्यसमा एउटा एस रिसेप्टर भन्ने हुन्छ, त्यसले त्यो भाइरल पार्टिकललाई इन्टर गरेर अनि लङमा स्पेसली अनि त्यसको मल्टिप्लिकेसनहरू धेरै हुन्छ कि, त्यो कपी धेरै बनाएर बिलियन्स कपी हुन जान्छ कि, धेरै नै यति धेरै हुन्छ कि बडीले त्यसलाई फाइट गर्दाखेरि जुन ओभरवेलमिङ रियाक्सन भन्छ हामीले, त्यो साइटोकाइन स्टर्म भन्छ, त्यो फेजमा गएर हो त्यो भेन्टिलेटरमा राख्नुपर्ने कि। अनि जति पनि औषधि हामीले चलाउँछौँ सुरुको फेजमा 1 हप्ता फर्स्ट विकमा जति पनि यो भाइरल लोडहरू कम गर्ने त्यो रेमडेसिभिरहरू भन्छ, त्यसपछिको अक्सिजनहरू धेरै चाहियो भने त्यो स्टेरोइडहरू एकदमै हाई डोज स्टेरोइडहरू चलाउँछ, दे अल वर्क एक्चुअली। तर त्यो सबै त्यो स्ट्रङलाई काम गर्नलाई के बडी चाहिँ त्यो भयो भने के हुन्छ, मल्टी सिस्टम फेलर भन्छ हामीले, त्यति बेला चाहिँ मर्ने चान्स एकदम हाई हुन्छ कि त्यो हुन नदिनलाई। सो रिलेटिभली अहिलेको जुन मेडिसिनहरू छ, इभन दो दे आर नट स्पेसिफिक टु कोभिड, दे वर्क एक्चुअली, दे सेभ अ लट अफ पिपल। जस्तो मैले 2-3 महिनादेखि यति धेरै केस देखाएको छु, अनि 2 वर्षदेखि ट्रिट गरिरहेको छु कि हाम्रो मोर्टालिटी एकदम कम छ रिलेटिभली। धेरै मान्छे भनौँ मर्न त मर्छ, अब जस्तो अन्डरलाइन तपाईँको हार्ट फेलरहरू छ, कुनै किसिमको क्यान्सरहरू छ, डायबिटिज वाला बिरामीहरू नै भयो, अनि त्यसपछि त्यो स्लिप एप्नियाहरू अथवा किमो लिइरहेको बिरामी, तिनीहरू चाहिँ हो मर्ने। युजुअली एभरेज तिनीहरूमा पनि बाँचेर गएको धेरै देखेको छु मैले। So coming back to your question, ध्यान दिनुपर्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ जस्तो कुनै बेला अस्पताल जाने भन्दाखेरि तपाईको अन्डरलाइन कुनै मेडिकल कन्डिसन छ अनि 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 श्वासहरू बढ्दै यस्तो ज्वरो जस्तो लाग्यो तर श्वासहरू बढिरहेछ अनि ठीक भइरहेछ भने इट्स गुड आइडिया टु गेट चेक्ड आउट के अनि
related to the same question हैन कति मान्छेलाई I have heard and I think you must have too like एउटै फ्यामिलीमा एकजना पोजिटिभ भयो हस्बेन्ड पोजिटिभ वाइफ नेगेटिभ सिम्पटम्स देख्दा पनि नेगेटिभ आइरहेछ so is it very common or just it's some cases that I heard like you know out of the
no actually it can still happen किनभने त्यो कस्तो हुँदै रहेछ भने जुन हामीले घरको किट युज गर्दाखेरि जुन त्यसको पनि अलिकति फल्स नेगेटिभ एउटा त फल्स नेगेटिभ हुन्छ अर्को चाहिँ कस्तो भने एभ्रीबडी हेज डिफरेन्ट त्यो भाइरलको कपी हुन्छ कि जुन टेस्ट हामीले युज गर्छौँ त्यो डिटेक्सनको लागि हामीले त्यो स्कोर युज गर्छ टिएम स्कोर युज गर्छ हामीले त्यो भनेको भाइरल लोड कति छ त्यो स्याम्पलमा के त्यो अनुसार पोजिटिभ नेगेटिभ हुन सक्छ कि सो टेक्निकली फ्यामिलीमा कुनै एकजना पोजिटिभ भयो भने even if you're not having symptoms you can still be asymptomatic carrier के किनभने त्यो just the viral particle is too low to get detected and you can still give it to other people so you जुन 5 दिन 10 दिनको छ I think it's good idea to do quarantine if you cannot at least you should wear mask हैन जुन basic कुराहरु छ communicable disease को if you do that everybody should be safe
okay this makes sense sorry मैले नि क्वेशन्स सोधिरहेको छु but anytime anybody has a question maybe raise your hand or type in or speak हैन लास्टमा पनि हामीसँग टाइम हुन्छ कुरा गर्ने so अर्को मसँग मेनली क्वेशन थियो बुस्टर्स को डोज को हैन कतिले भ्याक्सिन नै लिएनन् अब यो कन्ट्रीमा दिस इज भेरी अमेजिङ यतिकै पाइरहेको बेलामा मान्छेले लिइरहेको छैनन् हैन तर होपफुली हामी जुन कम्युनिटीले अहिले हेरिरहेछ नेपाली कम्युनिटी दे आर भेरी प्रोएक्टिभ लिएछन् बुस्टर लिनुपर्ने कहिले लिनुपर्ने अनि lot of people are thinking to Nepal जाने कोशिश पनि गर्छन् so is it a good idea to get it before that
yeah I would recommend everybody should get booster किनभने अहिले 2 दिन अगाडि अर्को एउटा डेटा आएछ कि भनेको बुस्टरले भनेको 80% भन्दा बढी छ प्रोटेक्सन दिन्छ के जस्तो दुईटा मात्रै भ्याक्सिन लिनुले 38% भन्छ कि प्रोटेक्सन दिन्छ अनि बुस्टर लियो भने 80% जति दिन्छ अनि अलमोस्ट अल भ्याक्सिन्स आर इफेक्टिभ अमेरिकामा जुन 3वटा मेजर भ्याक्सिनहरु छ मोडर्नाको जेएनजे र त्यो अनि फाइजरको अल 3 आर इक्वली इफेक्टिभ के अनि अलमा दे रिकमेन्ड कि बुस्टर चाहिँ चाहिन्छ भनेर अब बुस्टर युजुअली सेकेन्ड डोज पछि कुनैले 2 weeks भन्छ आइडियली चाहिँ एनीथिङ विदिन किनभने 6 महिना पछि चाहिँ त्यो प्रोटेक्सन हराउँछ के so if you are within 6 months of second dose you should get it ASAP as soon as possible that gives you the best immunity it takes another 2 weeks to give you that boost okay the body le feri to activate garnai time लाग्छ but that is the best scenario so I would recommend all Nepalese to हाम्रो जुन कम्युनिटीमा छ everybody should get the booster
अनि जस्तो कसैले मोडर्ना लियो र कसैले फाइजर पाइरहेछ भने should we get the same vaccine or a different one is okay
you can get the same but अब जस्तो दुईटै मोडर्ना र फाइजर both are RNA vaccine हो अनि भनेको दिनको बडीमा सिमिलरली वर्क गर्छ अनि मोडर्नाको चाहिँ अलिकति त्यो कन्सन्ट्रेसन चाहिँ बढी छ के अलिकति बढी but they all work and I think it's okay to mix and match if you can get a Pfizer they are supposed to be the best even अनि फाइजर लिएकोहरुले चाहिँ मोडर्ना या फाइजर लिनु भन्छ बुस्टर ग्रुप
ओके त्यो क्वेशन थियो एउटा लाइक दुईजना कन्फ्युज थिए कि कुन चाहिँ लिने अब अहिले त अवेलेबल छ भन्छन् यहाँ हैन तर जस्ट डिपेन्डिङ अन योर
जेएनजी लियाहरुलाई पनि अहिले चाहिँ बुस्टर लिने हो भने टेक इट आइदर फाइजर या मोडर्ना लिनु भन्छ कि
तलेसी भन्नु
मैले खास त्यसैमा एउटा क्वेशन गर्न खोजे चाहिँ त्यो हामी तपाईले बुस्टरको बारेमा कुरा उठाइहाल्नु भयो
हजुर
जस्तै मलाई एक्ज्याक्टली थाहा छैन कि जस्तै हामी डबल शट लिएकै थियौं पहिला हैन फाइजरको अनि त्यसपछि पनि आफ्टर 6 months वी अलमोस्ट होल फ्यामिली इम्प्याक्टेड अनि त्यो कता सुनिन्छ कि इम्प्याक्ट भइसकेपछि विदिन हाउ मेनी डेज यु क्यान गेट द बुस्टर त्यो कुनै स्पेसिफिक टाइम छ कि जस्तै अब कोभिडबाट भइसकेपछि त बडी अलिकति
did you say that you got COVID infection after second?
Yes.
Okay.
After 6 months. So like I suppose in November we had complete 6 months because we got last dose and the April 30 whole family, and then we are impacted during the December last week during the Christmas time. So after we got recovered, I think we are almost recovered. We haven't checked all negative, but within how many days next?
Yeah, so get a boost? Initial recommendation 90 days थियो है पहिलाको अहिले anything after 2 weeks you can take it. Only के हुन्छ भने किनभने यो innate immunity जुन इन्फेक्सन लिएकोले पनि प्रोटेक्ट चाहिँ गर्छ के, तर कस्तो पनि दे विन भेरी फास्ट के, जस्तो दे आर नट एज स्ट्रङ इम्युनिटी जुन हुन्छ नि त्यो भ्याक्सिनबाट जुन इम्युनिटी हुन्छ द्याट इज मोर वे स्ट्रङ्गर के, जस्तो जुन आर्म गर्छ नि बडीलाई प्रोटेक्ट गर्ने त्यो चाहिँ धेरै हुन्छ। अनि तपाईको क्वेशनमा के छ भने अहिले नयाँ रिकमेन्डेसन एनिथिङ आफ्टर 2 weeks यु क्यान टेक इट एक्चुअली एनिथिङ। त्यो एउटा चान्स के हुन्छ भने त्यो रिसेन्ट इन्फेक्सन भएको छ अथवा पहिला इन्फेक्सन भएको मान्छेहरूलाई त्यो ज्वरो सोरो आउने कोभिड लाइक सिम्पटम्स आफ्टर भ्याक्सिन इज भेरी कमन। मलाई आफै पनि भएको थियो अनि आई रिकमेन्ड एभ्रीबडी टु टेक लाइक 2 दिन जति चाहिँ फर्स्ट 48 आवर्स यु सुड टेक टाइलेनोल अथवा ब्रुफेन जुन छ नि चाहिँ लिनु के, किनभने यु फिल द सिमिलर टु व्हाट as if you are going through another COVID infection after the vaccine.
Just the moment to पहिला 90 days थियो अहिले 2 weeks छ भन्नु
भयो। After 2 weeks you can take it. Yeah.
So from which days, like suppose we had a COVID, right, and we had 2-3 days trouble, and then after that, because my situation, I got only 2 days fever, and then next third day I was okay, and from 4th day to until 10th day, like 5 days, I feel like a weird, what's called that muscle pain, which my other family member they didn't feel that, and that was really worse. So then I haven't tested like a negative, but you have to test negative.
You don't need to get tested actually. You don't need to get tested. अनि तपाईको PCR positive थियो, जस्तो usually PCR positive is the like definitely. त्याबाट usually you can do 2 weeks after again. So it's not that you're not protected. You are protected. You are protected.
So PCR test गरेको देखि 2 weeks हैन?
2 हप्ता अनि किनभने that is more definite. Yeah. किनभने युजुअली कस्तो हुन्छ भने फेज 3 weeks को फेज हुन्छ, जस्तो फर्स्ट विक तपाईको यो अल सिम्पटम्स हुन्छ अनि युजुअली पिपल हु गेट सिक टुवर्ड्स द फर्स्ट विक को जुन सिकुने हो धेरै सिकिस अस्पताल आउने भनेको फर्स्ट विक को टुवर्ड्स एन्डमा आउँछ के, त्यो दमको जति पनि हुन्छ बिरामीहरु त्यो सेकेन्ड विक इज द मोस्ट डेन्जरस। इफ यु पास सेकेन्ड विक चाहिँ त्यति बेला बडीले अलरेडी फाइट गरेर अलरेडी इलिमिनेसन फेजमा हुन्छ के, अनि यो भाइरस कस्तो हुन्छ दे ट्राई टु फाइन्ड अ न्यू होस्ट अलरेडी त्यति बेलामा। So coming back to your question, 2 weeks from, if you have any documented test of PCR or PCR is especially दुई किसिमको हुन्छ, home kit is not the most sensitive, जुन PCR हुन्छ जुन क्लिनिकलमा गरिन्छ they are supposed to be the gold standard हो, जुन चाहिँ always run short। हाम्रो अस्पतालमा जति भयो पनि पुगिरहेको हुँदैन।
एक्ज्याक्ट। म त्यसमा अर्को एड गरिहालौँ। अब त्यसमा भन्दा पनि अब अर्को क्वेसन चाहिँ के रे त्यो जस्तै मैले त्यो मसल स्पेन कुरा गरेँ नि, त्यो चाहिँ हामी 3 जना म मिसेस छोरीले दुईले भयो, तर मलाई मात्र त्यो मसल स्पेन आयो। त्यो चाहिँ त्यसको मलाई एकदमै अनकम्फर्टेबल फिल भएको थियो। अनि आफ्टर टकिङ द डक्टर आई टुक दैट Thailand and it go away, but it took 5 days. I took two tablets every day, morning evening. However, I never took before. So त्यसको बारेमा अलिकति मसल स्पेनमा अलिकति चाहिँ भन्दिनु न चाहिँ how to prevent any alternative way at home or something like that. अनि त्यसमा क्वेशन सोधिहाल्छु।
मसल स्पेजम भएको
मसल भन्ने कस्तो भन्दाखेरि जस्तै त्यो नर्मल घाउको मसल पेन हैन कि मानुस साप्रोमा हल्का मसल चाहिँ पुरा रिङटाला जस्तो हुने अनि सनसन्ती जस्तो हुने के, अनि तिमीको त्यसपछि त्यो 10 after 10 minutes is moved to another so I mean thigh or something, then go to the leg, and sometimes feel like a backbone, and sometimes feel like a whole body.
Only thing I can think of is like everybody's body is different, and it has to go with the viral load huncha ke, is a virus particle huncha ni sharir ma just maybe you had more of those virus in your body, like your body was trying to fight it out, and usually you should get checked out. Pre-diabetes haru त्यस छैन, A1C haru किनभने बडीमा कुनै अन्डरलाइन केही छ भने होइन भने इट्स द बडीज वेज टु फाइट थ्रु दिस इन्फेक्सन। एन्ड अर्को इलेक्ट्रोलाइटको प्रब्लमहरू, जस्तो तपाईँले पानी सानीहरू पुगेको छैन भने अथवा अनि इलेक्ट्रोलाइट युजुअली त्यो क्याल्सियम म्याग्नेसियम पोट्यासियम युजुअली यो 2-3 वटा हुन्छ, तिनीहरूको कमी भयो भने स्पेजम बढी हुन्छ क्या। त्यो खानेकुरामा त्यो ध्यान दिँदैन यसपछि झोल कुराहरू त्यसैले एकदम सुपहरू सपोज टु बी हेल्प विथ दिस काइन्ड अफ स्पेजम के
त्यो B12 र भिटामिन डी को मात्र डेफिसियन्सी छ त्यसको पनि हामी खाइरहेको छ ट्याब्लेट अरू त्यस्तो केही पनि छैन अनि अर्को कुरा म सोधिहाल्नु अहिले नै जस्ट सिन्स आई एम अन I'm hearing like COVID-19 epsilon. What is that? I mean, is the same thing, Omicron, or can you speak about that?
No, I mean, these are all like variants. Variants. So I don't think it's important variant. Some of the important the Delta, India, but variants South Africa, but Omicron, because these are the major variants. So, and they are predicting there will be more variants. Okay? There will be more variants down the road. Some recently epidemiologist Stanford ko le bhanda hai usko most likely milder huncha bhन्छ के fewer future haru चाहिँ किनभने they have to survive too यो virus को कस्तो हुन्छ भने they want to survive in the and जस्तो अहिले simple example दिन्छ जुन flu छ नि flu 100 वर्ष अगाडि त्यो H1N1 ले सबभन्दा बढी हेभोक त्यतिबेला pandemic गराएको यो mutate हुँदाखेरि अहिलेसम्म पनि छ जुन हामीले flu vaccine प्रत्येक वर्ष लिन्छौँ के it's the same virus. Same with COVID. They think that COVID will become like that, where you might need, it will be milder, it will not go away. You might have to just live with this virus. You might have just need like one year, some mild shot or something like that. So the variant you are talking about is another variant. It's I don't think it's an important variant. Okay. The genetic.
Susie, you have your hand raised, so please go ahead. Unmute करेगा पड़ती सुशील जी आके.
Okay. Namaste, Dr. Sahab.
Namaste.
सुशील जी बजे से मतलब सानत धेरै कुरा सुने a lot of curiosity is already solved. I have some question regarding Omicron. Like I heard that it is saying that I got all doses, like 3 booster doses already. Never had me infected by any coronavirus, but I lost my mom last year with the Delta. So little bit curiosity to know about Omicron, how Omicron is spreading. So मेरो घरमा एउटा सानो पार्टी भएको थियो जनवरीमा after somebody is traveling from India he came here we met during the first January party. All are the another guys all are affected like उनीहरुलाई Omicron भयो positive देखियो त्यसपछि मैले आफुलाई चेक गराए पुरै परिवारलाई चेक गराए हामी कसैलाई भएन. So I want to understand कि उनीहरु इन्डियाबाट फर्केका थिए एयरपोर्टमा उनीहरुको नेगेटिभ रिपोर्ट होला जब एयरपोर्टबाट नेगेटिभ रिपोर्ट आएर right after that if they got like positive how it works like during travel it is chance to spread.
So I'm sorry about your loss of your mom. Like coming back to this communicability of this coronavirus. Okay, like Omicron is supposed to be one of the most highly contagious. Like they call it very sleek. Like no matter how much defense you do, actually you can easily give it to another body. And coming back to your positive test, it all depends on how many copies they have and what kind of test they are running. So if you have enough virus to detect in the body, they will. That's why they have this period, incubation period, depending on which time you test. There is a time it's slowly building up in your body and then it slowly winds down. So I think it's just a phase of test they did. Yeah.
If I understand correctly, that the incubation period, suppose they are tested 72 hours before.
Yeah,
you travel through the 20.
Yeah.
And
we actually we sometimes we have a patients actually. Sometimes we have to send it to nursing home, and some places don't take it, and we actually repeat test every 5 days or so until that Nowadays, they ask for some score. I think it's where you basically, while particle has to be very low, where you, even if test is positive, you don't worry about like giving to other person. So we follow those. So it all depends on your viral load in the body and the test you are doing and which duration, like whether early phase or middle or late phase.
Okay, second question I have, that the test kit which is supplied by US government, everybody is getting, how reliable that test, and how I know that if there is a way to test and there is instructions there, everybody is following the instructions, and if we are getting negative, that is like 100% reliable, or
yeah, I don't think anything is 100%. I think it's anything about 90%. So you can still miss the cases. If you are having all the symptoms, maybe you follow all the right instruction, you have a good amount of sample, then that is a true test, and that is a very good true test, and you should believe the results. But if you are still having symptoms, some people it's recommended to repeat like in a second time. And if your two tests are negative, actually literally means you don't have COVID. Like you have something else, like you have a flu, or you can still have a cold. They are very similar symptoms. So, but still you have to follow all those isolation protocols. Like you have to the social distancing. You should wear the mask. All those things. So
okay,
it's not 100%. It's somewhere from 80 to 90%.
Oh, 89% is pretty much like almost 100%.
Yeah, 90%. It's still very good. But
no,
you have to have
I was not sorry about that. I was asking 100%, but it is like a relatively 90% is also is 100%.
Very good. It's very good. Yeah. It's a very good test. We call it sensitivity and specificity.
Okay, third question I have, only the last questions. Maybe I will listen another. Third questions I have, the fatigue. How, like I suppose, how we will feel that fatigue? Yeah, like sometimes the fatigue is during, if you have like a little extra works, like a little something, you get fatigue. So fatigue need to continue to think about that it is Omicron positivity, or how we will feel that. Sometimes, like why I'm asking, because sometimes I feel that I feel fatigue, but after 3-4 hours, 5 hours, it gone, right? So is it like a worried point that if it is fatigue?
I didn't understand your question. So fatigue is a very common symptoms, like very few percentage, like I think it's not even 5%, like under 5% people have this something called long COVID. They have this fatigue symptoms, like because it can precipitate in some people like autoimmune disease. Like there's different set of problems, because this disease can we also call long COVID, like but none of these things should last long. Like there are a small subset of persons it can create new problem, like where fatigue can last. But most of the people, it is a common presenting problem, like early signs like cough, dry cough, and like a little bit of fever, myalgia, like and you can have a fatigue, but it should not last. Like if you last, then you should actually get it checked out, make sure you're not getting the long COVID, or usually like if nothing should persist more than like 2 months or so. 6 weeks is pretty common. Everything should go away, like 4 to 6 weeks.
Thanks. That's I have, Mridula ji. You can move forward. If I have some more questions, I will raise them.
Yeah, please. Aprajita ji, you have a question. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Suresh Yadav ji. It's you have patience in answering all the questions. So thank you for your time. It's precious time of yours. I just came back in January from Nepal and India, and we got tested the day we flew, because we have a PCR report to be submitted to the airport authorities. So all 4 of us were negative. And one of my daughters had 2 tests PCR, so it's not the error on the lab side. So we took that negative report with us and flew back to USA. On the very same day we landed, January 4th, my younger daughter, who is 11-year-old, had all the symptoms, And the very next day, she was positive. So my question is, because we are again flying to India, in less than 2 months' time. So my question to you, it's okay if you go for 2 weeks. Like for a traveler like us, we are frequent flyers everywhere. So if we believe the report and we go there, and these kind of discrepancies happen, I'm not sure on the medical aspect of it, if the symptoms can flare up in less than 24 hours, but our trips are going to be really short, 7 days trip. What do you recommend?
I actually, for healthy people, I personally, I'm like, anybody who is active, who exercises is one of the natural defense. I mean, I didn't talk about that. Anybody who exercises regularly, because all these virus particles are dealt with our immunity called T-cell immunity. If anybody wants to learn or read on Google, exercise is one of the natural demons. Anybody who is active, these tools are very sharpened. And if you are vaccinated, especially boosted, I personally think this is the best time to travel the world. People are just scared. And you should not be scared. You just have to learn to live with this virus.
But the technical aspect of it, Dr.
Follow
Yadav,
the rules. Follow the rules. Follow the social distance, follow the mask, make sure you are immunized. If you're fully vaccinated, if you wash your hands, if you wear the mask, I think any 2 weeks of vacation is perfect. Actually, I think it's doable.
So,
just you have to just.
My question was slightly in a different direction. Say, sure. I am going to Nepal. Okay. And I have only 1 week. I'm worried about getting infected because I had the mildest of the symptoms out of 4 in the family. 1 was asymptomatic. My problem is that I get exposed in my Nepal trip or India trip, but I have no time to get sick and quarantine myself because I have to come back in a week time. Although I have 3 now, by now I have administered all of the recommended shot and booster and got COVID. You think going to Nepal in a week time, what is the chance that I get to fly back if I'm held back with positive report through the PCR? Is it likely? I mean, silly question, but
it's a silly question. It's nothing. Is silly question actually. There's no silly. I mean, yeah, you have to be extremely unlucky to have something like this. But yeah, I mean, probability is yes, it can happen, but chance is very small. Chances is very small if you are fully immunized. There's always a new circulating variant there, and we don't know actually who's gonna get infected. You may have the virus, but you may not feel any symptoms. There are so many asymptomatic carriers, and that's something it's known that people who are fully immunized, they can still get the infection. I think, and the reason actually that is because current vaccines are not very specific. Now they're talking about getting a 4th booster for us, and they think that they will be very specific. The newer ones, they're talking for us in March or so, having 4th dose. And they said that's going to be, so if you have very, very specific, they target they actually calculate what future variants will be. They have not been 100% in the case of flu, but they're thinking that they might be able to get in the case of corona. That's what some of the articles are saying. So coming back to your question, it's a possible, I think you have to be extremely out of luck to have something like that. It's chance is very small, but it can happen.
Well, I mean, coming back is not more of a question from the medical side, it's mostly for the regulatory side, right?
Yeah. I think if you get stuck, just make another vacation or just enjoy there. I think that's the best.
No, and actually that happened to me in 2021 when I went to Nepal. I got COVID, no symptoms at all, and I had to extend my vacation I did quarantine for 2 weeks, and then I came back.
No, I was in Nepal in November, and I had kept 1 extra week just in case I get stuck there. Actually. So I'm
yeah.
So my travel plan is in March and April both, and I'm flying back home in April and flying to South America in March. So, I mean, the way Indian PCR test, we believe, before flying into United flight and coming to Newark, and same day, I mean, a day before in India, we were all negative, and the other day we were all down with COVID. So that kind of,
I agree.
Situation I was at. So yeah, let Mahesh.
It doesn't happen. Sure.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sahab. Over to you, Maheshji.
Yeah, Maheshji is next, please.
Over to you, Mridula.
Maheshji, yeah, I think
नमस्कार
अब जस्तै मान लो परिवारमा सबैले बुस्टर डोज लगाएको छ हैन, अब फुल्ली भ्याक्सिनेटेड छ, बुस्टर पनि लगाएको छ, त्यसमा चाहिँ कतिको प्रभावकारी हुन्छ सेफ्टीको?
कस्तो सेफ्टी भनेको भ्याक्सिनको
भन्नाले भ्याक्सिन र कोभिड पनि फुल्ली भ्याक्सिनेटेड छ, बुस्टर डोज लगाएको पनि छ, त्यसमा पनि अब मान लो केही हाम्रो रिलेटिभ्सलाई के देख्यो भने उले बुस्टर लगाए पनि अनि फुल्ली भ्याक्सिनेटेड भए पनि उनीहरुको फ्यामिलीमा के भयो भने इन्फेक्टेड भयो यो लास्ट मन्थ, तर अहिले ठिक भइसक्यो। त यो चाहिँ कतिको प्रभावकारी हुन्छ बुस्टर डोज?
यसको डेटा कस्तो छ भने जस्तो अब 80% भन्छ कि नथिङ इज 100% भनेको 100 मा 80 जनालाई मा चाहिँ प्रभावकारी छ हैन। अनि तर कस्तो भने 90% बडीलाई चाहिँ भन्दा बडीलाई चाहिँ जस्तो सिकिस्त बनाउँदैन के, सिकिस्त भनेको अस्पताल जानुपर्ने अक्सिजन लाउनु पर्ने अवस्था चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ अलमोस्ट 90% भन्दा बढी उहाँ छ कि। सो इट्स भेरी इफेक्टिभ, टेक्निकली इट्स भेरी इफेक्टिभ, यु क्यान स्टिल गेट द भाइरस। अनि कस्तो छ भने त अन्डर यो सबै कुरा एज र इफ यु एल्डरली पपुलेसन, लाइक एल्डरली पपुलेसनमा त्यो टी सेल भन्ने हुन्छ कि इम्युनिटी जुन छ नि तपाईको यो भ्याक्सिनले गएर त्यो शरीरको सर्टेन सेललाई एक्टिभेट गरेर अनि त्यो प्रोटिन यसमा एन्टिबडी बनाउनु पर्छ कि आर्म गर्छ कि, त्यो मेकानिजम चाहिँ फल्टी हुन सक्छ कि। अनि के भन्छ भने पिपल जो एक्टिभ छैन, जसको अन्डरलाइन जस्तो कुनै लिम्फोमाहरू, ल्युकेमिया भन्ने कन्डिसनहरू जुन चाहिँ यो बोन म्यारो हुन्छ नि, यो लामो लामो जति पनि हड्डीहरू हुन्छ नि शरीरमा त्यो भित्र फ्याक्ट्री हुन्छ कि यो।
अनि जस्तै अब मान लो यो भ्याक्सिनेसन लगाइसकेपछि नि बुस्टर पनि लगायो भने यसमा कुनै साइड इफेक्टहरू केही छ कि? जस्तै मान लो ब्लड प्रेसर हाई हुने, ब्लड प्रेसर बढ्ने, त्यस्तो केही देखाउँछ कि?
Did we lose him?
I think we lose.
Did we lose Suresh?
Yeah.
I think accidentally maybe happening. It looks like he left me may join. Can wait. We can talk.
Let's wait for a minute. I'll text him.
So we have about 15 people on Zoom line. If we have any question, we can continue. New questions, if the similar questions are coming, if he has answered, we can repeat, but let the new people ask. I mean, those who have joined.
All right, let's wait for, let me text him. So maybe something
He's back.
जस्तै मान लो लास्ट विक हाम्रो एउटा साथीलाई के भयो भने वर्क फ्रम होमै थियो, उसले बुस्टर डोज लगाए पनि फुल्ली भ्याक्सिनेटेड भए पनि ऊ इन्फेक्टेड भयो। तर फ्राइडे चाहिँ उसले टेस्ट गराउँदा चाहिँ फ्राइडे टेस्ट गराएपछि फेरि उसलाई नेगेटिभ देखायो र फ्राइडे उसको फेरि ममको डेथ भयो काठमाडौँमा, हिजो चाहिँ ऊ नेपाल गयो। अब उसलाई इमर्जेन्सी परेको थियो अनि कोभिड टेस्ट गरायो, नेगेटिभ देखाएपछि नेपाल गयो। जस्तै मान लो त्यस्तो अब मान लो वर्क फ्रम होमै भयो भने उसको अरू फ्यामिली मेम्बरले बाहिर काम गर्थ्यो, अब उनीहरूबाट त शङ्का उनीहरूबाट चाहिँ आएर सरेको हुन सक्छ। तर त्यस्तो सिम्पटम केही पनि थिएन, पछिबाट नेगेटिभ भयो। त्यस्तो भन्नाले अब घरमैबाट सर्ने, जस्तै जो काम घरबाटै गर्छ नि तिनीहरूलाई चाहिँ अब मान लो इन्फेक्सन हुने चान्सेस कस्तो खाले हुन्छ? त्यस
डाक्टर यादव।
हेलो
हेलो,
सरी मैले के भने घरबाट काम गर्दाखेरि यो सर्ने चाहिँ एकदम कम चान्स हुन्छ कि, तर स्मल चान्स स्टिल हुन्छ किनभने स्टिल पिपल सेयर द आइटम्स हैन होममा, जस्तो किनभने बाहिरबाट किनेर ल्याउनु पर्यो हैन। पहिला सुरुमा जस्तो कोभिड आउँदाखेरि मान्छेले त प्रत्येक सामानहरूलाई नै डिसइन्फेक्ट गर्थ्यो कि, अहिले चाहिँ दे डोन्ट रिकमेन्ड हैन। तर चान्स त एकदम कम हुन्छ कि किनभने त्यो जुन हाउसहोल्ड मटेरियलहरू जुन हामीले सेयर गर्छ नि, बाथरुमबाट टावलहरू, खानेकुराहरू जुन टच गरे हुन्छ सबै सर्फेसहरू त सफा गरिँदैन। तर अर्को चाहिँ कस्तो भने यो भाइरल पार्टिकल यो सासबाट पनि जाने हो हावामा कि, यो ड्रपलेटहरू हाछिउ गर्दाखेरि केही भनौँ न, त्यसले गर्दाखेरि ओमिक्रोनको चाहिँ त्योभन्दा चाहिँ सबभन्दा बढी छ कि आफ्नै यो कजनहरू मध्येमा, सबै कोभिड-19 मध्येमा ओमिक्रोनको चाहिँ त्योभन्दा सबभन्दा बढी भएकोले सर्ने चान्स स्टिल हुन्छ तर एकदम कम हुन्छ।
जस्तै अब मान लो यो चाहिँ अब मान लो इमर्जेन्सी स्टेट, जस्तै अब कतिले त रुगाखोकी भएको हुन्छ हैन, अब यो ओमिक्रोनै भएको भनेर कसरी पहिचान गर्ने
इमर्जेन्सी स्टेट हो टेस्टै गर्नुपर्छ अहिले हाम्रो त अस्पतालहरुमा जस्तो हामीले अहिले फ्लू र त्यो सबै एउटै स्याम्पलमा सबै टेस्ट गर्छ के त्यो इन्फ्लुएन्जा ए बी हैन त्यसपछि यो अनि त्यसपछि भाइरल पार्टिकल यो 3-4 वटा कुरा एउटैमा गर्छ
अब जस्तै मान लो कसैलाई हैन कसैलाई मान लो पोजिटिभ देखाएको छ तर सिम्पटम छैन उ क्वारेन्टाइन छ अब त्यस्तो अवस्थामा यो अब उलाई इमर्जेन्सी स्टेट आइपुग्यो भनेर कसरी पहिचाने अब सिम्पटमै छैन भने
हैन त्यही त इमर्जेन्सी सिम्पटम छैन भने यु डोन्ट ह्याभ टु वरी जस्ट वेयर द मास्क जस्ट फलो द प्रोटोकल अहिले 5 दिन भन्छ मिनिमम 5 दिन जति किनभने त्यो बडीले आफै इरेडिकेट गर्छ के यो भने नि सिम्पटम भनेको डरलाग्दो सिम्पटम भनेको सास प्रश्वासको सिम्पटमहरु हो अरु सिम्पटमहरु माइनर इफ यु क्यान टलरेट जस्ट वेयर द मास्क and do the quarantine part if you don't want to get out. If you want to get out, wear the mask all the time, you'll be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Maisi. We have some question on the chat. Rajesh, actually, my husband is Is there a light end of towards the end of the tunnel? What's your thought? Looks like Omicron is moderating now. Are there any other known strains? Thank you.
Yeah, so we expect that there will be a new strains, and truth is basically nobody knows. Nobody knows. Some of the epidemiologists, prediction are saying they are thinking that we are close to a light at the end of the tunnel. We are basically. America may pani kasto cha bhane aile tyo east coast bata west तिर गइरहेछ जस्तो अहिले पनि मेरै अस्पतालमा पनि मैले त्यो 8 weeks मा हेर्दाखेरि it is coming down के अहिले त्यो एकदमै कम भइरहेछ कि slowly कम भइरहेछ अनि they are thinking that it is going towards the west side. Mainly it is still increasing, case numbers are increasing in the communities where there is a very low vaccination like rates. So I think Rajji's question was saying I think it's optimistic news saying things are looking a little bit better, but we still need to be cautious. We still need to wear the mask, and we still need to do the social distancing for at least short term for now.
I think it's the another question is first. It says iPhone. Related question. No, why Omicron is highly contagious, but Omicron variant appears to cause less severe disease than the Delta. Another question is COVID-19 really going from pandemic to
that's
endemic?
What they are thinking that from pandemic it will be eventually endemic. Viral ko jun nature huncha, whoever is studying this virus, they are thinking that it will not go away 100%. They think that it will be like a flu-like. It will stay. It will become less virulent. Like it will be less virulent than Omicron so that it will stay in the population. It will circulate in the population. You might have to just get something like flu shot once a year or so. So it might become endemic. That's what they are thinking, down the road. Coming back to communicability, Omicron is the most less virulent than Delta. It has caused less mortality, but it has caused more number of cases, because it's very contagious, super contagious. And that is because of the gene mutation they have done, all the mutations. That's what this crazy. This is a living organism. They have their own brain, they figured out how to survive. So this is something I don't think we have understood it fully. Yeah, so it looks like more virulent it become. Actually indirectly it destroyed itself. So nature, everybody likes to preserve themselves, and
one question that we all have kids, and they go to school, and right now I know even you must be getting, because our kids go to the same school district. Dublin City School may bhanum na, every day letter आउँछ यो स्कुलमा यति जना बच्चा इन्फेक्ट भयो, even Delta को टाइममा पनि त्यति आउँदैन थियो. So how worried we should be as a parent? I know my kids are vaccinated, but some of the kids तर उनीहरु स्कुल जानु परिरहेछ, how worried they should be. And I know we shouldn't let our guards down. अहिले पनि mask and sanitizers, I know they are all necessary, but I'm asking as a parent.
I think Dr. Suresh Yadav is just connected now. He was disconnected.
Okay, I'm back. I think.
Did you hear my question, Dai?
I did not.
होइन मैले सोधेको दाइ लाइक डब्लिन सिटी स्कुल्समै भनौँ न अनि एभ्रीबडी आई गेस एभ्रिवेयर त्यो एकदमै धेरै केसेसहरू बढिरहेछन् प्रिटी मच एज यु सेड ओमिक्रोन एकदमै छिटो सर्ने भएर होला कति वरिड हुनुपर्छ हामीहरू मेरो बच्चाहरू भ्याक्सिनेटेड छन् तर धेरै बच्चाहरू जो बिलो 6 इयर्स छन् उनीहरूको त भ्याक्सिन पनि छैन नि अहिले एन्ड दे साइन्ड अफ लाइक इन पर्सन गइरहेछ भने हाउ वरिड वी शुड बी
Actually, I think जति पनि pediatricianहरु मेरो एकजना साथीसँग मैले कुरा गरेको थिएँ and they think that we should not be worried. Actually, they have been able to manage. किनभने they think that actually kids are more responsible than adults. They have done studies actually. They follow masking more than adults, like They think that the kids do better. They think that if teachers follow the rules, kids follow the rule. I think we should be able to safely manage this condition. So it's really ideal if all the kids are vaccinated. But current situation with all the politics, I don't think it's possible. There is, I think, Pfizer is supposed to come with. I think soon they're gonna have a approval for kids under 5 years. I think it's coming. It will be soon. So hopefully that will change a little bit. But I think we should be able to coexist with this virus.
Like a flu, get vaccine every year.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, we have one more question from RK Mishra. Hello, sir. How can we approach to mild cough symptoms? Why post-COVID cough is becoming more severe or troublesome? Can you please suggest some treatment approach?
Post-COVID cough, like if you have underlying like sinus problems, there we see this cough doesn't go away that easily. Also, it's common that you can have like secondary bacterial infection, like after a week of this kind of viral infections. Sometimes you have secondary infection. You may need an antibiotic that after a week, if it doesn't go away, you need to. Some people require what is causing that problem. So finding out is the key, and also some people become sensitive. Like you can have asthma-like symptoms. There also cough doesn't go away unless you treat that underlying condition. So depending on what you find, you have to find out what exactly is causing. But sometimes because COVID can trigger other problems, other underlying problems. So sometimes if that is the condition, then I recommend getting checked out, like by a physician or so.
I know we have 7 more minutes, and I think Dr. Yadav has to go somewhere. Or do you have any last-minute questions?
I do have one question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So, Dr. Yadav, namaste. My question is more related kind of like this supplement. So, last year I got infected, and then it was really difficult for me. I was suffering. So, some people suggested me to take supplements, and this year I'm just continuing taking supplements. So, I mean, for some weeks, not some week, last week, I would say I'm getting like some dry cough. It's not too bad, but it's a little. So do you think that I need to take test or not? There is no other symptom, just the cough.
Sorry, actually, I got distracted. Somebody was talking to me. What was your question?
Okay, my question is, I have little cough, just dry cough.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to test or not? There are no other.
No, most of the times for mild cough, you don't have to get tested. Anything that lasts for more than 4 weeks, that's the only time you have to get tested. Like most of these things do go away on its own. Like, and if it is from virus, I have not seen anybody having lung problems. But anything, if you last more than 4 weeks, I recommend get it tested.
From medical point of view, do you recommend taking supplements?
If you can eat like regular food, like if you have good habits, like I don't recommend. I'm not a proponent for any kind of vitamins or any kind of supplements, like but there are like some particular supplements that they say it helps, like vitamin C, vitamin D, like zinc. They have found that they do help, like even हाम्रो त्यो नेपाली खानेकुराहरुमा जस्तो टर्मेरिक लाइक हनीहरु जुनहरु हुन्छ they have found that they really help actually recovery process.
Thank you. Yeah, Mridula.
जसलाई थाहा छैन, Dr. Yadav is an avid runner. एकदमै exercise गर्नुहुन्छ. So that's why he more proposed to
I
get
want
people active rather
to
than
run because Nepali खानेकुराले सब everybody gets diabetic, so
so run, you mean outside
but
run?
I don't believe in taking any medicine like for long term.
So Dr. Yadav, is it outside running or
I think I'm about time.
Mridula Didi,
I would time time I would really like to thank you so much, Suresh, Dr. Yadav. हामी त जसै पनि कुरा गरिरहन्छौँ, केही पर्यो भने हामी सोधिरहन्छौँ, but thank you for giving us your precious time.
Thank you.
Any closing thoughts from the president?
Thank you, Dr. Yadav. It was really, so helpful, beneficial for the community, and it feels good to hear a lot of scientific, updates coming from you, and especially Mridula ji. Thank you so much for moderating and bringing Dr. Suresh Yadav ji to our session, and Toleshwar ji, Dheeraj ji, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day to you, Dr. Yadav.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.